You sign your first contract and it costs more than your entire life. Your name disappears before ink dries. You sit inside a silent underground facility where there are no flags, no nations, only corporate logos. Your mission file opens slowly on a black screen. It reads one word: non-attributable. A voice behind glass speaks without emotion, giving no introductions, no comfort, and no questions allowed. You start to realize something terrifying. Someone pays for wars like subscriptions, and you are now part of the billing system. You wake up inside a processing facility where no uniforms are issued yet, only paperwork and silence. You are scanned, measured, and recorded, but never welcomed. You quickly learn about private military companies like Blackwater, now known as academia, which exist in modern conflict zones under government contracts and limited disclosure. But here, nothing feels governmental, only corporate efficiency. You are asked one question: are you deployable? No explanation follows. You sign, and immediately you feel it. You are no longer an individual. You are a contract asset. This is not enlistment, it is ownership in legal form, and something in you goes quiet because silence feels safer than truth. You enter training with no national identity, no flags on walls, only numbers and simulation grids. You train in urban environments, convoy protection, threat response, and controlled extraction drills, reflecting real-world PMC training structures used globally. Your instructors never share personal history, but you can see it in their movements. They are ex-special forces from different countries. No one asks where anyone is from because it no longer matters. You begin to realize something unsettling. Everyone here has seen combat before, but no one discusses what it took from them. You adapt quickly, your instincts sharpen, your emotions begin to flatten, and efficiency replaces hesitation because hesitation means weakness here. One night, after drills, you sit in silence and realize you have stopped thinking about home. Your first deployment is not announced, it is assigned. You arrive in an unstable region where no country name is ever spoken, only coordinates. Your objective is infrastructure security for oil facilities owned by a global consortium, reflecting real-world patterns of private security protecting critical infrastructure in unstable zones. The enemy is never labeled, only described as threat indicators. You patrol endless industrial corridors under artificial light, where every movement is recorded and every step is logged. There is no battlefield declaration, only risk management. You begin to understand the system. You are not fighting wars. You are protecting investments. One night, you hear distant activity outside the perimeter, but no alarms trigger because it is not officially defined as a threat. That is when it hits you. Definitions decide reality here, and you are paid to protect silence, not countries. You are reassigned without warning, and this time the mission feels different. You are escorting a single individual, a billionaire whose identity is never fully disclosed. You see private aviation routes, sealed convoys, and encrypted movement orders, and his security level exceeds entire military units. Yet he moves freely through conflict zones as if war is routine. You realize something uncomfortable. His protection budget could fund entire battalions, but here he is the priority, not civilians nearby, not the region, only him. He speaks casually during transit, as if war is weather. You begin to understand the distance between worlds. You carry rifles, he carries influence, and influence moves faster than bullets. One man moves war like luggage. You receive a new file with no origin header and no issuing authority, only coordinates and timing. This is a deniable operation. Real-world private military contractors have historically operated in legal gray zones where official acknowledgement is restricted or avoided, but this feels deeper. You're told one rule: if captured, no entity will recognize you, and no rescue protocol exists. You move at night with minimal communication, and even your teammates feel distant, as if connection itself is dangerous. Every action feels erased before it happens. You begin to question existence itself. If no one admits you were there, did you even act? The mission ends with no confirmation, no report, no record, only silence returning. You disappear if the mission fails. You are deployed into a region where conflict feels artificial. Opposing groups exist, but intelligence briefings never assign blame, only interest zones. You start noticing patterns, corporations operating indirectly across both sides, not openly but effectively, shaping outcomes without visibility. You are not told who pays you because multiple entities may be involved. You patrol areas where allegiance shifts like currency, and today's enemy may be tomorrow's client. You stop seeing sides and start seeing contracts, and every contract has a price. You begin to understand that war is no longer ideology, it is logistics, and you are fighting both sides of the same wallet. Time loses meaning as deployments blur together. You no longer count missions, only outcomes. Real-world studies of contract-based combat environments show emotional desensitization over prolonged exposure, and you feel it happening slowly and quietly. You begin prioritizing results over reasoning. Protection becomes enforcement. Enforcement becomes routine. You stop asking if something is right and only ask if it is required. One night, you look at your reflection and it feels unfamiliar. Not changed, just emptied. You realize something terrifying. You no longer hesitate. Right and wrong are no longer contract terms. You gain access to internal structure layers of your operational chain. Nothing is truly classified, only hidden through complexity. Every command route leads upward, not to governments, but to financial networks, private capital structures, and influence systems. You understand now you were never part of national defense. You were part of an asset protection system. Even conflicts themselves feel structured, balanced, and maintained rather than resolved. You are not a soldier, you are a service layer, replaceable, renewable, deployable, and suddenly everything makes sense. The silence, the contracts, the anonymity. It was never about secrecy, it was about ownership. You were never hired to win wars. You return to the beginning, the same underground facility, the same black folder, the same silent screen. A new recruit sits across from you now, confused, nervous, and unaware. You slide the contract forward, and he asks no questions, just signs. And you notice something. The ink reflects your own name faintly. You pick up another file,